All right, my friends, how are you today? It's Aaron here, bringing you your horoscope for May 14th, 2019. How are you? There's a lot going on. A lot going on out there right now, right? Let's go to the chart here now. Let's just break everything down. We've got this grand trine going on, Earth sign, right? When we see a grand trine in anything, it's a really strong aspect. Okay, it's a very strong aspect. The isosceles triangle and even an even triangle is the most solid object, man-made object, or in nature. Either way, it's what cardboard boxes are made out of: triangle, 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 because it's very sturdy. A square can be knocked over. Isosceles triangle is very sturdy. So when we have this, it's almost like a vault, or like a safe vault. This is very strong. And the earth signs are the least emotional out of all the signs in the zodiac. Can be very cold, very brash, and very harsh. They're perfection and necessary change, especially through Virgo and Capricorn. Big change. And Taurus is more stable. So Mercury's over there in Taurus. The moon is in Taurus. Or excuse me, the sun is in Taurus. The moon is in Virgo. And we're creating this trine up to Saturn and Pluto and the south node in Capricorn. So we have this grand trine. It's just like nothing is getting past this logic. Nothing is getting past this system, this order. There's going to be no emotional leaks here. There's no water breaking into this safe. This is a waterproof safe. Emotions don't get in here. And that can be difficult because there's a lot of things that are suggesting change, and it's change of the things that we don't necessarily want to change, things that we're holding on to the most. One of my favorite quotes is, "A single bar can be a prison if you hold on to it long enough." It's same as like that if you're holding a glass of water, it's half full, half empty, it doesn't matter, but it's just how long you hold on to it. It gets heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier until it becomes unbearable. It doesn't matter how much weight's in it. It can be empty. It can be full. So we have so much that's like things that we don't want to change that are being forced to change by an outside force. So like looking at this here, we've got again this this Jupiter's squaring the moon today on this Tuesday, right? So it's like the information that's coming from the outside is like, hey, can be kind of painful. It can be painful information, and you kind of have to take one on the chin. You have to suck it up and emotionlessly deal with it and move forward and make the necessary change. So this is not necessarily easy. This is definitely not an easy aspect. And we've got Venus here at the 29th degree, perfect sextile over here to Mars at the 29th degree for the entire day. Right? So Venus, our feminine goddess of everything that we love, want, and desire, and beauty and money. And Aries, this is like self-survival, okay? I need to survive. I have to look out for me because there is outside influences, there's outside forces that are just simply, as well, just looking out for themselves, but they're having an impact on you. One situation can affect the other. So we have to try to put ourselves in a situation, not where we're guarded and closed off to where no one can affect us, but at the same time to make sure that we are putting ourselves in a safe place of survival mode. Not where, again, we're closed off into that safe where we can't allow the emotion to come and flow in. We have to be open and flowing. And let's go back here. And this is, again, why the North Node is so important. We still have... it's not showing here, but this 3 degrees apart, we're still having this North Node sextile connection. We're still having this yod. So this yod is happening, still pointing to the information up here. The information up here is squaring what's here, like, take it on the chin, because you still have to give. Virgo is all about doing the work. It's about being compassionate. It's about giving back, being the nurse, the doctor. It's just like, it didn't matter. It's non-judgmental. When the wounded person comes in with a gunshot wound or a stab wound or a broken leg or whatever's going on, it's just, let's fix the situation, not, did this person do something? Did, what happened to them? Whatever. That's, the story is almost insignificant. The story is insignificant. It's take care of the person. This person is you. You have to take care of you. Because somebody else could be the one out there that's putting you into the hospital, mentally. Hopefully not physically, but mentally these stresses can be very high. Again, because the communication aspect is money driven. It's, like I know personally, I've done jobs that for no reason, all of us in the industry, it's like everything is inflating, but yet the job wages are going down. And it's like, well, if everything's going up and this is going down because somebody else is trying to make more over here or pinching over this way, and we see larger corporations rising up, larger things over here, and these people are getting burned down here. And we have to put ourselves in a situation, and that's why the South Node is also so equally important with releasing this big business mentality, this big corporate mentality that Saturn and Pluto are doing up there. That's part of this grand Earth trine. So it's like getting rid of this mentality, and it's just like we have to look out for our youth, we have to look out for our elders, we have to look out for ourselves and prepare ourselves and set us up so that we're creating a system that looks out for us in the future as a community as a whole. And that futuristic thinking, Aquarius, is where we're all moving to. So on this day, it's take a rap on the chin if that's what's coming, but you have what it takes to give back. Maybe, Virgo again is the trees that blossom and bloom, and the flowers that blossom and bloom, and they give to humanity, and humanity takes, and humanity takes, and humanity takes. And this can be a situation where you're getting taken from. And maybe it's not just enough apples, or chopping down the whole tree. But it's our job at this point, while Venus is in Aries, while Mars is in Gemini, creating new ideas, okay? Creating the new ideas for self-survival, that means we're planting the seeds. That means we're spreading our seeds so that when somebody comes and chops down our tree, okay, we have other things. We don't have all of our eggs in one basket. We have other seeds planting so new trees sprout up. This is our job. This is our focus right now. Okay, because someone is going to come and chop down your tree. Someone is going to come take from you. Someone is going to try to take advantage of you. I'm not saying just today, but that's life, And we can be emotional about it. We can be really heartbroken about certain things. And sometimes we just have to, we can be that way, but we have to just keep moving forward. We have to get it done. And then a little bit later in the day, the moon's going to move into Libra to, it's going to, let me show you here, it's going to oppose Chiron. Let me bring this over to hours here. So look, here we go. Just a couple hours in to the day. A little bit later at night, I guess. But either way, it's still going to be all day. We're still feeling that energy. This is 10 p.m. proper. But, you're still feeling this. Like, it's other people. Other people sometimes hurt us. It's just like this trine breaks, and that's when this comes in, okay? The trine breaks, and this is like a pinched hose, friends. This is like, you're sitting there trying to screw with the thing, trying to water your garden. You're trying to nourish and flourish, trying to plant your seeds, and you got Billy over there, darn you, Billy, pinching the hose. It's nothing's coming out, okay? Do we get frustrated? What do? We find the kink, we find the solution or whatever, and then all of a sudden, boom, this pinch hose comes undone. All the water starts flowing is what's going to happen, and then when the water starts flowing, it's moving into Libra and realizing, is this Billy? It was somebody else. And we try so hard, and I preach so much about not blaming other people. Not blaming other people for us and where we are at in our situation. Okay? Just like blaming the weather. Like, I can't control if it rains. If it rains out the game, or if it's just raining cats and dogs and it's delaying me getting someplace, I can't control that. I can only control my emotions and how I feel about that. My perspective on these things. So it's not blaming Billy, but it's understanding that that is what happened. This is something else, an outside person, an outside thing has affected this. And now this is where we're at. and I'm just dealing with it. So instead of watering the garden, I got the water sprayed in my face, whatever. It's not the end of the world. Hopefully it's not a life or death situation that we're dealing with. And it's something that we can continue to, again, work on our garden. Spread those seeds before Johnny Appletree comes over, or somebody, Paul Bundy, comes and chops down the trees. Be the Johnny Appleseed. Johnny Appleseed Day. Johnny Appleseed Day, friends. All right? Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Appreciate you. Giving back. You know what? Let me show you. First, a day for giving. And all right, this is how I'll end this. I'll look at that. A little jolt of excitement here. Day how I'll end this. Because Virgo still says to give back. It still says to give back. And this, there's still connections to the North Node is still saying, like, be compassionate. Be a compassionate human being. Work through empathy. It's not a linear thinking of this A equals B, A and B equals C. This logic, and this is what gets us here in this. It's just like we have to feel more. We have to be more compassionate while dealing with these things in this emotional blockage, but it's still giving back. And how cool is this? Speaking of, today, my neighbor, thank you so much, who watches these, is like, dude, you don't have any, like, astrology stuff in the background. So look at that. On this day of giving, my neighbor hooked me up. He got this thing, super cool, all vintagey looking. And look at this one, super rad. Such a nerd about it. I love it. I love it. So cool. Thank you, man. Such good people in my life. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. See you tomorrow.